All right. What episode number are we on, man?
367.
All right. 367?
Yeah.
Oh.
I said, hold on.
Oh,
I didn't know you pressed the
hold on.
record button.
Oh, okay.
You literally did the rock on
You
you.
did. Live from
The good side of town.
the good side of town?
Yeah.
Is
Look
that
around, dude.
Look around.
I feel like Johnny Gargano. You're definitely Candice LeRae.
Hey,
From the good side of town.
that's what we're calling this.
Yes.
place. Okay. Live from the good side of town. It's the 367th edition of Houston Wrestling Radio. This is Abel.
This is Hector.
This is Chris.
And thank you so much for tuning in today, guys. Yes, we are live again. Do we have anybody in the live chat? We got two. So maybe it's
Already? Dang.
It's probably me and Hector.
Okay, that sounds about
That's
right.
probably the two. But if you are joining us live, it's not you. Somebody else is in there.
Somebody else
Great.
is in there.
If you're joining us live, thank you so much. Log into your YouTube account. That way you can chat along with us. So you can talk shit, fact check us. Just say hi, ask us questions, whatever. I'll see it here in the live chat, and I'll try to involve you as best as I can in the show. If you're not watching us live, that's okay. You can still, drop a comment down below or interact with us on Facebook, facebook.com/Houston Wrestling Radio, and Twitter at H Wrestling Radio. We kind of use it sometimes, not really. I think there's an Instagram somewhere in the unicorn. Yeah. Well, you use that. Yeah.
But if you upload tomorrow.
Yes.
That tax forgiveness.
What is it? Is that what it was? Tax forgiveness?
Yeah.
Forget the stimulus.
Oh.
Use the stimulus. Hey.
Oh, we're starting off that tonight. All right.
Oh.
Good.
All right. Where are we going today,
We
Chris?
got a lot of news to cover. A whole lot of shit went down. So I'm going to spin the wheel, make a deal. The first thought that went into your head watching Rich Holland's injury on NXT television.
Ooh. I was trying to figure out how they're gonna handle that. Just seeing it there is like, ooh. But they basically gave him kind of like the, get well kind of thing.
Yeah.
And that was it, mostly. But injury.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've seen that.
Did you happen to catch it in the moment? Or did you watch it? Do you know what I'm talking about?
That's a shame.
I mean, no.
Yeah,
I mean, damn. Like, it's an injury. What do you want me to say?
It was gross, dude.
Yeah.
Because he already has a unique voice. So hearing him yell in pain, oh man, it was unsettling.
Yeah.
I don't know why I started with this topic after we just ate.
I know, right? Which was an impeccable thing, by the way.
Yeah. Chef Hector.
Chef Hector, yes.
I'm buying your canned food eventually.
No, it becomes too racial. My picture could not have.
All right, if you really want to dive deep into this, I'll say this. I wasn't really sure if he was actually really injured. I know that might sound a little insensitive of me, but like when I saw it happen, when he caught Oni, I thought it was his right leg that he hurt. But then later when they came back from off the replay and they showed the live feed, he was holding his left leg. And I was like, that's not the one that fucked up. Like, I don't get it. Like, there was some...
The slow motion will show you that left one, like the ankle buckle.
Yeah.
Ugly.
Okay. I don't know. I wasn't convinced.
Okay.
But, I mean, if it's real, it's real. But it's one of those where, like, it's not like Sid. Where he like,
that's the first person I thought of.
Yeah.
Because it just, oh, God.
Now, I mean, it does suck to, hey, Porsche said, hi, jerks. Welcome to the live chat. It does suck that it kind of fucked up that budding storyline with him and Undisputed Era and Adam Cole and all that. It was gonna be kind of interesting, I would think, but I don't know. It's a shame.
How about Mustafa Ali? He's the leader of Retribution. Thumbs up, thumbs down.
I'm gonna give it a thumbs up.
Why?
I think it's a good move. I think it's a good fit if you don't look at the rest of the story. if you just put down on paper, hey, this is a stable for this anarchist group, and you have these mystery folks who we know who they are, and they're being led by Mustafa Ali. I was like, I think that works. I think they could do something with it. It'd be very interesting to see Mustafa Ali in a serious heel role, because they tried so hard pushing the uber babyface thing, trying to garner a lot of sympathy, that it was good. It was well done. I believed him when he said it, but I don't think WWE believed him when he said it. And the promo that he did was great. And it's funny, I just used this phrase because this was the phrase I had after the promo on Raw, the backstage promo. I said, wow, that's an amazing promo. I wish I believed what he said. And
are you talking about last Monday's promo?
Yeah, it's past Monday. The one where the rest of them were standing behind that he admits. And the reason why I say that I don't believe it is because they just lost like 2 weeks in a row. The storyline was this one thing where it was like these guys that just wanted to get revenge, but now they actually have contracts and they're going to play by the rules to get.
And they got drafted.
They got drafted, and
Stephanie looks over her shoulder to make sure she don't get gangbanged before she announces Retribution's pick.
They have entrance music and they have graphics that look kind of rip off of NWO, and it's now just the 5 of them, and all the other little putties are just putties. So it's like, man, all this shit together, not good. But much like the New Day, shit with the New Day was terrible when it first started, right? There are all of these preacher kids, and they're going to come out and, whatever. And they're just wrong. WWE's idea of what they were going to do and how they were going to do it was terrible. So then when the actual New Day so started doing their own thing, there was an interim period in between where it's like, they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing. Creative doesn't know what the fuck they're doing. They're doing their own thing. They're kind of self-booking, and it's just not working. But eventually, once they got through that transitional period of forget all this bullshit, now let's do it. Yeah, do it this way. It was perfect. So I kind of am hopeful for the future that they're going to get through all the bullshit. And Retribution is Retribution. They're this group, and they're kind of bad. Guys, what do y'all think?
It was thumbs up for me, but then it became thumbs down when he admitted the whole Hector stuff.
Really?
Yeah, okay. Because that one is still had somewhat of a mystery, but then I kind of did a big turnoff of, okay, we kind of all figured out that it was going to be him, but it kind of lost the steam, and they built it up so much that it lost steam, and then it just became a throwaway. Or like, oh yeah, by the way, I was that guy behind the group. But when it comes to the building up of it, of the team, WWE, yeah, the authority basically is putting up the shit. But do you really think that they're gonna last long to do the New Day stuff?
I don't know. I mean, I hope that they do. I mean, because I'm fucking Brennan, right? Like, I'm gonna always want him to be successful, but that's my own bias. I hope that they allow them to just kind of recreate it in their own image and let them do something that works, right? Do I have confidence that they are? No. That's why I said what I said after the promo. God damn, that's a great promo. I just wish I believed it. I don't believe it. But that says less about Retribution. That says more about WWE and their booking,
I think out of all the group members that I've seen, the only 2 people that are actually protecting themselves is Mia Yim and Dio, because they have their Retribution account on social media, and then they have their original account,
right?
And everybody else is like, was it Fat Jack or was that?
Yeah, that's Thorne, right?
Yeah. So with that,
thank you, Portia. Yeah, Mercedes Martinez disappeared. She's not even part of the group anymore.
But we'll see how much that lasts.
Which, it was also funny when Mia Yim disappeared, because it's like, oh, we're all in the ring, we're all badasses, here comes the Hurt Business. Well, I can't play with the boys, bye. Like, oh, well, shit.
They don't have a girl.
They don't have a girl, damn it.
Good luck, guys.
And then that's why Titus tried to join, because Titus has really big titties. Chris, what say you?
The whole collective of Retribution on Raw goes with a thumbs down. Number one, it shouldn't have lost again to
I
her
agree.
business. What the fuck is Bray Wyatt doing now with them, against them?
Right.
The third thing is they kind of open the floodgates a little bit, and then they shut the levee before you can actually do anything with the promo of Mustafa.
Yeah.
Rather than be the fan that bitches that they did something with the hacker and then they completely just dropped it, I can appreciate them offering that little nugget to tie that loose end. That's just one loose end. There's 4 people behind you. That should have been the promo where they all unmask themselves. Where Dio Madden says, I'm the guy that stood up for Jerry Lawler when no one else did, and not one phone call, not one hospital visit, not one thank you, not even a return to the desk. Shane Thorne, I was one of the best tag teams in the world, and I come into WWE and within 6 months you break us up and my partner's gone. Dijakovic, dude, I came in with Keith Lee, we wreck shop and evolve, we wreck shop around the world. He promised me that we were going to be here together, and the first chance he got, he left and left me behind to wallow in NXT when I should have been just as good as he, just in the same spot that he was. You know, Mia Yim.
These all deserve things.
Mia Yim. I tried to do my way and it didn't work, so I tried doing Shayna Baszler's way, and I'm being booed in a Shayna Baszler match when she's the heel. Like I can't even please the audience that I'm in front of, no matter what I do, and I'm still floundering in NXT. You know, even with Mercedes, the same thing with her career being such a in the Mae Young Classic twice, yet they don't give her the time of day until they dress her up like fucking like a female Sub-Zero on NXT. You know, there's so much they could have done, unmasked all of them, and then like that's retribution. That's why they're pissed. You can even the difference between a heel and a face is how you perceive them. Everything that Paul Heyman does, he believes that he's right. He believes he's the face. Mm-hmm. With all the stories that you told, even with Mustafa being screwed out of the title of Elimination Chamber, the fucking Kofi Kingston movement should have been Mustafa's movement. You put that on tape with everybody else unmasking a retribution, you could literally have a tweener or a face team out of that. Because remember, her business were assholes. They were beating up people in catering. They beat up Titus O'Neil.
They're still assholes.
And they're still assholes, but the lesser of two evils right now is BLM, so we're booing fucking retribution. It just you had the opportunity right there for all the crap you've done, dressing these guys up like the Predator and Jason and fucking Shiva and the fucking storyline and lack thereof and like 45 different putties. Like you had that was the best opportunity to you could have had your Bully Ray moment in that promo that Mustafa cut, and it wasn't even a tenth of what it could have been. Like he brought nothing to the table. Bully Ray, when he turned and became the leader of Aces and Eights, that one impact afterwards, where the whole episode was in clips, Bully just describing every single part of the story to figure out how you got there, so that when those 2 hours were up, you're like, I get it. Fucking Bully. I should have fucking seen it. You had that opportunity right there last Monday, and you fucking shit the bed.
So let me ask you something, man. Because you kind of mentioned in there about, they're going up against Hurt Business, right? So you have Hurt Business, the heel faction. You have Bray and Alexa, that's their heels.
Crazy faction.
Yeah, and then you have Retribution, their heels. Portion of the live chat says that she digs the heel versus heel stuff. What about you? Because this is something WWE almost never does. We almost never see heel versus heel stuff. Can you appreciate that for what it is? Or is that still a thumbs up?
As far as the heel versus heel stuff, I'm kind of not seeing it that way.
Okay.
Because they're presenting Retribution as the heels. You know, even with the reason that they're hating on Hurt Business, MVP recruited Shane Thorne and the other guy, Brendan Vick. They were supposed before Hurt Business even started. It was supposed to be those two. He dumped them. So there's a reason for Shane to be mad at the Hurt Business. There's so much there's so many layers to it that they could have addressed, but they haven't done any of it. And if they don't do it, at some point people aren't going to give a fuck about the hacker shit.
But going to that, all the points that you made kind of put the story together overall. Okay, you said the unmasking. So, bringing up Thorne, the first member. One, they kind of lead it up together with Ali doing the breakup with Cedric. How he was with that small group with him and Ricochet. You have Ali having a cause. You have Thorne beefing basically with the Hurt Business over the split. Think about it later on. Mia Yim would theoretically take off her mask whenever she faces Shayna Baszler because that's her retribution. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You have Dio. Dio, I'm kind of hoping they end up doing it with Brock because again, story-wise, Brock put him out.
Yeah. And he's got help. He's got strength in numbers.
Yeah. And then who else?
You got Kovic
and Lee.
Yeah, unmasking.
That would be the theoretical matches when they unmask each other. Like, this is why I'm doing this.
Yeah, and they get actual retribution. With
that being said, that means fucking WWE is actually doing a long-term story.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully they stick with it and they don't get cold feet and rewrite fucking Raw 2 hours before they go on air.
Is Mustafa Ali revealing himself as a hacker enough of a morsel to get you going to the next chapter of the storyline?
For me, yes. Because I'm glad, like you said, they tied up a loose end. I'm glad they tied up that loose end, but it also kind of shows. Okay, this is the part that I did believe when Mustafa was doing his promo. I believed that in his own character, hey, I tried to do it this way with the hacker stuff, and you know what, it didn't really work, but now I took it a step further. He's devolving, so to speak. So it's like, I can't do it with the hacker stuff, but you know what, I recruited these guys, and now that I have these guys, they're my backup, and I buy it. I buy that part of it. What I don't buy is them going forward and that they're actually booked well.
Ember Moon's back in NXT.
Yeah. Cool. I get it that some people may want to think that that's it's called down, back down to NXT. And yeah, I kind of understand because that's kind of what happened with Tyler Breeze, kind of what happened with Tyson Kidd. But Cesaro kind of made the most of it when he went down and then went back up. So I don't know. With Ember, it was like, do I really want to see her on Raw? Do I want to see her on SmackDown? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. I don't really give a fuck. Like, it's Ember, and I'm going to be happy for her either way. So, yeah, her back in NXT, sure.
I like it. It's right now her character, judging from last night's episode, her match, she played it as I was there. Now I'm here to teach you what you need to know to go up there. And because during the match, you could hear telling the girl, come on, kind of like rookie. Come on, rookie, let me show you how you work. And they caught it. I was like, oh, it's not. It's like, that's a good story to build on.
And if they caught that shit, they caught that shit on purpose. Yeah. That's something that I've been noticing.
The red light's always on.
Yes.
The red light's always on, but I think they're really using that. This is something WWE's done well in this COVID era, where they understand that there's not the roar of the crowd. So somebody said, oh shit, we could do further storyline telling by pointing the microphones into the ring and let them say lines while they're in the match.
Oh, yeah.
Which is almost exactly all the storytelling that happened with Roman versus Jey at the pay-per-view. Like, all that shit.
One step further also happened last night. The live Thatch Can training.
Oh, that was
another
good.
example of using the audio, using what's audible in the ring rather than relying on the crowd noise. Because he didn't need a mic for that. He's got, not to go on a tangent, he's got this old school Jake Roberts kind of vibe with me where he doesn't, like, he's not trying to yell to make his point across. He's talking in his normal speak, and you're shutting the fuck up to listen to what he has to say because you're going to miss something.
It's a split between Jake Roberts and he's rehashing the old gimmick from Gulak.
Okay. Like Catch Point.
Yeah, Catch Point.
Yeah.
You had to say his name. Jake Roberts. Did you see what I sent you? about Bret Hart? What he said about Jake Roberts?
I didn't read it, but I know there's some tweet going on. Back to the question.
There's some tweet. Oh, wait, you just want to blow past?
Oh, it's Bret Hart. So yeah.
It's Jake Roberts. So you.
So what the fuck?
Okay, so Jake Roberts said that Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels never drew. So then Bret was like, I wrestled in front of 100,000 people in India in 1994 in WWE. I had the championship, you didn't. You were a good promo, you weren't a real athlete. Yeah, you may have went to the gym, but you would take a smoke break after one set. I was like, holy shit. It was like, there's a reason why you never had the belt and I did. I was like, holy shit.
Dark Side season 3.
Oh man, I know, it was so good.
To answer the question at hand, it did not come across as a demotion in all the way it was being built. When they had this whole former NXT guy returning to reclaim the belt that was theirs, I'm like, fucking go Dallas. Like I'm going through it. It can't be Pac. It can't be Sami Zayn because he's now right now he's doing his own shit. But it wouldn't surprise me if WWE guys hasn't worn on 2 separate shows because that's what they do. So I'm thinking, could it be Joe? He's been off of commentary, but that dude in the promos is thin as fuck. So I'm thinking, who could it be? So when it turned up to be Ember, I was like, that's how you make a return. Like I'm instantly invested in whatever Ember Moon is doing.
How do you feel about the return on top of the return on that? Because like,
great segue. I was about to mention that next.
Okay.
Tony time.
Ember kind of stole Tony Storm's thunder, pun intended. And I thought it was a little disjointed because it's like, oh, there's Tony Storm on the big screen. Oh my God, she's coming back, and then vroom, vroom, vroom. Oh, here comes a motorcycle. Oh God, it's gonna be her. And she gets out, and it's like, wait a second, Tony looks different. No, that ain't Tony. I don't know.
For whatever reason, I didn't lose my shit over Tony because I've been watching UK. She's been doing good in UK. She didn't really make. How do I pick my word? Choose my word wisely. She didn't make enough of an impact in NXT that the time she was there for me to care that she's done more in NXT UK.
Yeah.
But other than the Worlds Collide with her and fucking Rhea Ripley, Toni Storm. I don't associate Toni Storm with NXT enough for me to care about her coming back. I associate her with UK. So if she's representing that brand, cool. If she's showing up, cool. I don't mind her there. Obviously, the women's division in NXT US needed help. It needed more. So with having Ember and Tony there, you're good to go. So the fact that they showed up at the same time, fuck it, give me all of it. One didn't take away from the other for me. Long ago.
Hell, AEW did it the same when the introduction of Brody Lee and Matt Hardy at one night. It seemed to work. So, hey, whatever.
I thought she was stepping on her toes, but
You brought it up earlier on the draft, so we'll mention it now. You had been worried for quite some time about how WWE would ever handle a situation of the New Day.
Mm-hmm.
How pleased are you the way they settled it on the draft?
Mwah! Chef's kiss. This is exactly, if you had to separate the New Day, which I don't know the reason why they decided to do it now, but if you were going to do it,
flashback, I called it.
Yes. If you're going to do it, this is the way to do it. They're still friends. Hell, they're still the New Day.
They're spreading the seed on t-shirts.
Yeah, I like it. But yeah, they're split up. This gives Biggie a chance for a singles run, and then you got Kofi and Xavier holding it down with the tag belts over on Raw, and cool. Split them up eventually. Like right now, they're both, all three of them are still the New Day. They still have matching fucking gear, right? But
we'll see tomorrow.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Maybe next week, one will instead of wearing pink and blue, one will wear purple and blue, and then the next thing you know, they start diverging a little bit. They're still cool. They're still homies. They don't hate each other, but they're not together, and that's fine because that's what happens in real life. Real people, real friends. That happens. People drift away sometimes.
The chef's kiss for me was actually seeing Biggie on the screen cheering on in the tag match. I would have been about as worried as you were had we still been in like 2006, 2007, where there was an actual brand split, where there was actual Raw only and SmackDown only pay-per-views, where the draft was taken seriously and they only got back together 4 times a year. They're gonna hang out backstage every month. You know, they're still like they made the promo that they're spreading it on both brands. You know, I pretty much believe it. That's the way I wanted it to be.
Yeah.
I think they did it masterfully. Yeah, to be honest.
Oh yeah, seeing the midnight. Was it the midnight hour? The move between Biggie and Xavier. Finally, Xavier comes back, but sucks that he has to come to basically do a farewell for the New Day as a trio. But just seeing that move one more time, I was like, all right, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good with
Dude, when Big E was like, when Xavier's like, you didn't say his name. You didn't say his name.
Say his name.
Oh man, that got me a little bit.
That was in the fields.
Yeah, that got me a little bit. Yeah.
We have somebody. I think that's new in the live chats. Kevin. Hello, Kevin.
What's up, man? Welcome.
Thank you for chiming in. He said hi. Yeah, man. I'm really excited for what new days are ahead for the New Day. Yeah, that was great. But yeah, I love it. I love seeing the emotion between all of them splitting up, so it doesn't make it like trivial, you know. I love seeing that, you know, they're still gonna be who they are. We don't have to turn on anybody and pick sides. We can still buy the merch for all of them, all the same, and we can cheer for them twice as much. Cheer for them on Mondays, cheer for them on Fridays, you know. So I'm totally happy with those.
Twitch better have my money. What the fuck is Vince McMahon thinking? You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
You got that gas? You got that gas? Yeah. What the fuck, man?
He doesn't have the people's money, so he's trying to take their entertainment money.
Yeah, I guess so.
That's what it is.
So, I mean, other than just like straight out greed, do you really think there's anything else behind that? Like not allowing wrestlers to have their own Twitch channels? Like do you think maybe there's something coming down the pipeline that WWE is going to do something similar? Like, and they want it to be their own? Or is it just like straight up greed? No, you can't make money outside of us.
It sounds like greed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because it has to be when it starts affecting their downside guarantees. So for anybody that doesn't know that, downside guarantee means no matter how many, whether you work 250 nights or you work 50 nights, I'm going to guarantee to pay you at least, for example, $100,000 a year. Okay. Whether you work whatever number of shows. So basically now, if Vince McMahon sees that you make $50,000 a year on your Twitch revenue through ads and sales and stuff like that, we're going to add that as part of what you earn. So out of that $100,000, half of that is what you yourself have earned on your own through Twitch, and the other half is what I'm going to pay you. So I don't got to pay you that much, basically. Even though they were still doing profits in the last quarter, they did profits before. They did profits when they didn't have to release wrestlers at WrestleMania conference hall quarter, you know, and the machine's still moving. They're still making money, yet they still want to try to find a way to get more money from everyone else, from another revenue, so they didn't have to come out of their own till, you know. Yeah. So on its surface, it sounds like greed.
Okay.
Also, same thing. There's no Saudi money coming in this year.
Nope.
It's not traveling. So
what? I don't know what Portia's talking about here, but she says Soraya trying that union.
Yeah, there's talk about unions because the whole thing when it all came up.
Unions?
Yeah. When it all came up, it was about it was introduced as Vince McMahon owning their personal name also. And they're like, yeah, no, that's when you started seeing like Paige change her name to her real name. And Paige and her were talking about, okay, we're learning a lot more about wrestlers union kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because it's like, how can you take our profit if we're independent contractors?
There's nothing independent about a WWE contract.
Yeah.
Might as well just make it, but then that becomes a situation where healthcare, you know, paternity leave, maternity leave, you know.
And that's such a fucking tricky subject, and you see that going on in California right now with AB5. So I'll
Explain AB5 for people that don't know.
AB5 is something that passed in California, the new law that says basically there's no such thing as independent contractors anymore. Everybody has to be an employee. So you get minimum wage, you get all your health benefits, you get all this and that and here and there, which sounds great. This sounds like it has great intentions. Everybody should have health care. Got it. How do we do that? Through their jobs. Oh, okay. Everybody needs to be employed. Whoa, hold on. You can't be an independent contractor. So in the case of WWE and wrestlers, I think WWE has kind of abused the independent contractor labeling for quite some time now, because all of their wrestlers have exclusive contracts. So that kind of takes away the independent part, right?
That's very interesting that you mentioned that. Number one, I had no idea what it was you just talked about until you told me. Number two, that's another wrinkle into why I don't think WWE is doing WrestleMania in LA. Because if they're working in California, they have to be working as employees rather than as independent contractors. That might hurt. That you know what, we might not be able to perform in California if our wrestlers can't be as independent contractors.
All of it isn't completely finalized. On November 3rd, there's another thing on the ballot called Prop 22, and Prop 22 is basically different. What if I go to California 1 week? Now he's I know, right? No, here's what I know about this.
You bring any weed with you though.
Here's why I know about this, because there's plenty of other companies that have proposed turning it over or coming up with some sort of compromise so that companies like Uber, companies like Lyft, that all their drivers don't all of a sudden overnight become employees. Yeah. And like I was saying, in the case of WWE, I think they should be considered employees. But in the case of like salon or people that work in a salon, hairstylists, no, you shouldn't be an employee like that with the way that model is. That whole industry will get fucked right up. Same thing with rideshare.
Rideshare, those prices are going to skyrocket.
They're going to skyrocket, yeah. And now drivers don't have that independence of, I'll drive whenever I want to turn on the app.
2 hours a day.
No, you have a fucking schedule. Well, who gets Friday night when the bar's let out? You know, like, so who gets that preferential treatment? Who works that? And who works Tuesday at 11 o'clock in the morning? So that's gonna fuck up a lot of things, and that's kind of on the ballot on the 3rd. So it's gonna be interesting to see what happens, because if that is successful in California, that could go to other states, and if that goes to Connecticut, then that really will affect WWE. And that's why I kind of interrupted you there, where you were talking about, that's probably not why they don't want to perform in California. No, I think it affects where the business is owned and operated out of. So if they're owned,
but then they could do the same thing. They could do the same thing that other companies do to avoid paying taxes. Coca-Cola could take the recipe from their vault of how to make the Coke, and they move it to a place in Switzerland where they pay 1% tax instead of 23% sales tax, and they're no longer American based. So that doesn't matter. That rule don't apply to them no more.
Exactly. So just people putting offshore bank accounts. I can have my money here. Yep. Yeah, and it's just going to instigate more shenanigans. Yeah. So Prop 22, sorry. Yes, Prop 22 is good. AB5 is good. Yeah. Sorry, I got really political nerdy. I really got in there.
He's even proud. He's like,
yeah. I can't vote on it because we're in Houston. So yeah. But maybe if anybody out there listening in California, vote for me.
Lay out for a second.
All right.
One word to summarize G1 Climax 30.
Hard hitting. And entertaining. Story-wise, there were so many things that caught my attention. At the very end, yes, I will admit it. Chris, you were right.
I'm sorry. Did you speak into my good ear? Yeah. I thought I heard you say I was right. Wow.
The final he picked was Ibushi.
I had two options, but it was either Ibushi and Sonata or Ibushi and Naito. Yeah.
And he got it right.
But was it worth it though? It felt a little flat.
It did.
For a final?
For me, it did.
It felt a little flat.
History-wise, for the whole tournament, Bushi made history because he goes on that list of winning it twice in a row.
Yeah.
Story history-wise, also, Naito holds a record now, having the longest time in the G1, which is close to already like 3 hours.
Ooh.
All their matches,
Like combined match time?
combined match time is 3 hours. But the stories that they weave throughout the whole tournament were
Promising.
very entertaining. You have stuff that basically they laid the groundwork. Like for my final was Evil versus White, and they intertwined that whole story perfectly of Bullet Club Deception. Having Evil versus Kenta, and Kenta's waiting for the side.
And he does it to fucking to go.
Yeah. Evil goes like that, turns around, does it the big Togo instead of Kenta. So I was like, all right. So that sprinkled the seeds there. White getting beat by Tokyo Pin.
Oh yeah.
And him saying, wait, I thought we were cool. Are you with Evil? And I started putting the deception there. Ibushi going back, actually reclaiming his losses from last year with the people of this year. Osprey turning his back on Chaos, making his own faction.
I'm not sure that the Bea Priestley part's gonna work. I'm curious with the Great O'Khan because he has a look.
But Bea Priestley introduces the Stardom.
Yeah.
Because Bea Priestley took out that vacant title.
Yeah.
Now she's the women's champion over there in New Japan.
Wait, and New Japan has a women's title?
No, bought Stardom.
No, Bushiroad, the company that owns New Japan, also owns Stardom. Remember, last Wrestle Kingdom, the dark match was the first time that there was ever a women's match in the Tokyo Dome during Wrestle Kingdom.
All right, so so is it still separate?
It's still separate, but that's how they're
merging it.
They're kind of doing a little dance.
Yeah. We'll slide them in for a second.
Right.
We had the conversation during the Me Too movement, and I wasn't completely like all in on the Osprey hate.
Yeah.
Come to find out,
the truth came out, and Osprey wasn't in on it.
Yeah.
They used his name without him even knowing.
Yeah.
To blackball the girl that was making the accusations. But since their name wasn't worthy enough on the title card that night was Osprey, they were like, well, you don't take her out, Osprey's not showing up. And they're like, oh. Without Osprey even knowing, he got the whole backlash of it. But he is reminding me of New Japan's version of Randy Orton now, which I like. I like that.
Except he's not born.
Yes.
I'm sure Abel will take our word for it, because I think he did it once last year.
Yeah.
If there's one match from the G1 Climax that deserves to be on our match of the year list, it's blank versus blank.
I'll take your word for it on this one. Yeah.
What is it?
We are gonna disagree.
Ooh, jale,
honestly, I hope we agree on this one, but I think we are gonna disagree. My match on the G1, and there's plenty to choose of. Naito versus Zack Sabre Jr. for me called my attention. The technical aspect that Naito had to go up.
Defend it to them.
Naito had to basically go into a new level of going into the technical aspect of Zack Sabre's kind of skill. And the way Sabre kind of pointed out the arms, the legs, kind of took him to the ground. It was like, all right, I like it. It was entertaining, and it was a lot of close calls. But that's one of many, I could say. You?
The first match that pops into my mind. We talked about this off the air. There were some matches that we thought were on the top of the list, and the match that you mentioned wasn't on mine because 4 years of G1 for me, the standard's already been set pretty high. So there has to be something that I wasn't expecting, or something that has previous engagement, previous investment for me to get hooked on. And that match had to have been, without a shadow of a doubt, Naito versus Sonata. Just as good wrestling-wise as all the other matches, but the thing that, just like the nuance of Naito learning Sabre shit, the nuance for me was Naito's respect for Sonata. Naito goes into every fucking match, takes his time with his shirt, takes his time with his vest, takes his time with his pants. Nah, he was pretty quick to get naked.
With Sonata, yeah.
Sonata turned around and he just ignored him. He let him do his thing however long it was going to take. And Naito, to his credit, wasn't going to do that shit to one of his own. He didn't spit in Sonata's face. He didn't slap Sonata disrespectfully like he does everybody else. When Naito does the little flip and does the pose, yeah. Sonata ran right in and went for a cover.
Yep. And Sonata returned it to him.
And Sonata returned it to his pose. Yeah, Sonata returned it to him too. Sonata winning was a pick that I had, but not one I was confident on. And the part that brought almost like to a feel trip level to me was the end. Because the last time Naito did this was met with this. So Sonata beats the master. Student beats the master. And Sonata almost begrudgingly feels bad that he beat this dude. Yeah. You know, Sonata's got a pretty shit run in the last couple of G1s, but he always beats the champ. And this time it was his buddy. And he's sad. He wants that affirmation that everything's all right. And I'm here worrying, thinking, fuck, the last time this happened, something shady happened.
But that was Sonata that did it first.
Yeah.
Naito was on the ground and Sonata kind of picks him up.
So I'm expecting Naito to like trash it, or to actually beat himself. Because he really wasn't himself with Sonata. He was being respectful because that's his own. You know, and he just lost one of his own. He didn't want to do anything to fuck it up again. So when I saw them actually have the mutual respect, oh fuck. That was like the cherry on top to that whole story. Significance, that win was the tiebreaker for Sonata to make it to the finals of the tournament. Sure, he didn't win. You could look past all that. But there was significance in the fact that he beat Naito.
Yeah.
So you add all that together, that's my pick that goes on this list. Trimming fat. Because we could add a dozen of these matches. Fucking Okada Ospreay from that last night. Dude, that last 5 minutes, there wasn't enough blue chew. I didn't need any of that.
Dude, Tai Chi and Suzuki.
Tai Chi and Ibushi. The commentators put over a legit Ken versus Ryu scenario for me. There were 119 kicks thrown in that match.
Goddamn.
That was it. No slams, no turnbuckle shots, no punches, just straight up Jean-Claude Van Damme special. To the point that after the match, you saw that Ibushi gave Tai Chi that respect. I was like, now I'm a fan of Tai Chi. That was all it took.
That's why one of my favorite ones was Ibushi and Suzuki. Because Ibushi got to Suzuki would hit him and Ibushi would call his ass out. He would sit in the middle of the ring and just tell him, come on.
And now that you mentioned that, again with the nuance, I noticed that Suzuki wasn't as arrogant with Ibushi. Every other minute, he's like, he gets hit. Well, he took Ibushi seriously in that fucker.
When he lost, he was on the floor just looking up and he just started laughing.
Yeah.
He's like, oh shit. When he tried to roll out off the ring and walk, he was stumbling his way all the way to the back.
Yeah.
I was like, all right.
There's a lot of gems in this tournament. Every
year.
Yeah. Right? And that's why you have to really get to like the top of the cream of the crop.
All right, you little schoolgirls. Answer the question. Should any of the G1 matches be put on our match of the year list?
There should definitely be one.
At least one.
At least one.
Oh, can you guys quit gushing all over each other enough to pick one?
We got 2 weeks to think about it.
Oh,
no, I actually not. I agree with yours.
Yeah.
Really?
Story-wise, yes.
Everything.
Because that led up to the final night being Naito versus Evil. No, Sonata versus Evil. And going into that night, all three members of Los Ingobernables were tied at 12.
Yeah.
All three members were either one of those three was in the final.
And here's the other reason. Now that you mentioned that, here's the other reason why I'm picking this to go on the list. There's another aspect that we haven't mentioned here. because Sonata beat Naito, the leader of those Ingobernables,
Yeah.
the final night of the B block, Hiromu's ringside doing commentary. Naito's getting jumped. He doesn't
go
save
in.
Naito.
Ah.
Sonata's getting jumped. He helps Sonata.
Okay.
There's a part of the match where
Yeah.
Evil goes in front of Hiromu, and he goes like that, and Hiromu's like,
There was so much, dude.
Okay.
The literal implosion of Los Ingobernables can actually be pinpointed to this match. That's where lines were drawn and decisions were made
Okay.
because of that match. So I'm in with that.
I'll trust you guys if you say
You'll
that
get to
match.
watch it with fresh eyes
sure I
at the end
will.
of the year.
I'm sure I will.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just this year's been rough for me to actually watch any wrestling. Like you're lucky I'm watching WWE.
It helps that
You
it's
know?
in front of an audience. This is
Yeah.
close to normalcy. That's why I had no qualms watching 19 nights of Japanese wrestling over most of what we got because it felt as close to normal as I could get.
Yeah.
So
segueing to somewhere else, because I think this will be a perfect.
go. What's your segue? Go.
What'd you think of Tanahashi showing up on Jericho's congratulations?
I thought that was really cool. I was like, hey, I know that guy. You know, that was pretty awesome.
Backstory to that:
Yeah.
the VP,
Harold Meiji. He's gone.
he's gone.
And he's
What?
pretty much
The VP of what?
New Japan.
Oh.
Harold Meiji. Meiji or Meiji, one of the two, but Harold.
He was basically a white guy.
Yeah, Americano.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's out. And he was probably the doorstop that was keeping that door shut
Yes.
between AEW and New Japan.
Why?
They had beef when the Elite left New Japan.
Yeah.
They left on bad terms, and it was mostly with that guy.
Okay.
And now that he's out the window, it just so happened that the week, a couple of days before the Jericho stuff, that came out,
Yeah.
and then you see Tanahashi come out on AEW kind of video-wise. So you might start seeing.
Well, I honestly didn't read too much into it other than okay, Tanahashi and Jericho have a good relationship. Like I didn't really read into the that means that the federations are going to start working together. But then again, I mean, I wasn't that in tune to it. Just like, oh, that's cool. But here's why I thought about it, and with The Rock showing up on Impact to congratulate Ken Shamrock being into the TNA.
We just counted as 2020.
Yeah.
We're in the upside down now.
Yeah, The Rock could show up on Impact. Why the fuck not? You know, like.
What are you going to do? Edit him out of the SmackDown debut on the network?
Yeah.
Becky Lynch is talking to nobody.
Bacon finally shows his face.
Yeah.
It's funny you mentioned that part because Facebook, Twitter, YouPorn went all about Tanahashi showing up. Low key, I marked the fuck out for Ultimo Dragon. Because he's on the retirement run also, and he wants one more match with Jericho. I honestly, as much as the match won't meet my expectations, I would rather see a farewell Ultimo Dragon Jericho match as opposed to another Tanahashi Jericho match, even if it's in AEW.
Okay.
The Ultimo stuff really opened my eye. I was like, "What I see, way. All right,
I see you.
I got you. I got you.
All right.
Yeah."
I love Bubba's where he just like chugged the fucking bubble and it's like, "Rrr," and like that's it. He didn't say anything. Stupid Bubba.
Match of the week candidates in the last couple of weeks. I'm gonna just run off some stuff. Ibushi versus Jeff Cobb from the tournament.
Okay.
Ishii Takagi. It lived up to last year. That was on our match of the year last year. Naito Sonata, that's on our list. Takeover, Finn Balor against Kylo. You remember that?
Okay. Yeah.
Ibushi Takagi. For what it's worth, I just wanted to give it a mention. It's on my list. Ricochet versus Alexander on Raw to end that beef.
Yeah.
He did the Eddie tribute.
Yeah.
Outsmarted them. To the point where I kind of would like to see Ricochet, out of respect, join the Hurt Business. Like, and Big Shot's like, game recognized game, we need that in here. And, Cedric will welcome him, God damn it. Pete Dunne and Dragunov against Walter and Alexander Wolf, Imperium from NXT UK last week. Fuck me, that's takeover quality right there.
Really?
That shit
Yeah,
was
good.
fucking good. Spoiler alert, tag match, obviously, but Dragunov is the first guy to pin Walter in NXT since he showed up, whether UK or US.
Okay.
And there's not a takeover scheduled anytime soon, so I'm guessing it's in a couple of weeks. But we're building up to an eventual Dragunov getting fucking murdered by Walter in a title match. But the story so far has been good. Not to mention, if you try to do a drinking game on there, whenever the main UK commentator says, "Oh my word," he'd probably be dead in like 5 minutes. That's the only thing he had. That's the only thing that motherfucker had. I've said this a dozen times already. Fuck, I'm gonna say it again. Tell me a bad match between Penta and Phoenix.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Last night?
Yeah, that was good. That was the one I was going to mention if you didn't mention it.
Fucking on commentary. Oh boy.
God.
No.
Leader of
Kingston.
Oh,
Eddie Kingston.
Yeah.
He put so much value in that fucking match.
And he talked a lot of shit to JR too.
God,
Yeah,
he talked a lot of shit to all of them. But he put over that match like that was WrestleMania caliber. And they fucking proved it, dude.
The story of brother versus brother, and then
Being nice at first, and they get a little agitated, and
And
to
they-
the point that fucking Phoenix will land on his fucking head to get a fucking Hurricane Rana
And
just
then-
to beat him.
when it got to that point of where Pentagon is taken away from his competitive mode and going into the brother mode, like, oh shit, I just hurt my brother.
Yeah.
But that surprise Canadian Destroyer, I liked it.
Yeah.
That was a good sequence right there.
Yeah.
You did good.
Yeah. So those were my candidates. Unless you had any other picks,
I mean,
anything
yeah,
else you've seen or remember the last couple of weeks.
You hit most of those. Yeah.
The one that was entertaining for me was last night's triple threat. NXT.
Don't tell me.
Yeah.
Don't tell me. I specifically did not watch it because Velveteen is in it. Kushida and fucking Ciampa. I know.
Yes.
Just get rid of Velveteen. Just give me that.
So, all right, is that our position? Get rid of Velveteen? Do we want to talk about this again?
It's not. We don't have to go deep into detail, but it's just there's a hurdle that I put in front of me that I just can't clear with Velveteen Dream now.
Okay. I mean, there isn't any new news or any new accusations. Everything
We're
is
still in the
as it
same.
was last week.
We're still in the same holding pattern.
Yeah.
He's not in the net. It hasn't gotten any worse, but it hasn't done anything to get the situation any better. So until the situation gets better or gets solidified as worse, he's still going to be in that freaking void of I don't give a fuck about Velveteen Dream.
Yeah. Because, I mean, I don't really know what to believe with the whole Velveteen accusations. You know, because like. I don't know. Like, I don't want to rehash because we've already talked about this.
Okay, so fine.
So, yeah, everything's still where it's at. Okay.
So we're going to rehash Hell in a Cell then.
Oh, great.
Yeah, and I mean that because we were in the same boat last year.
Okay.
We're 4 days away from Hell in a Cell, and there's only 4 matches announced.
Really?
Remember we had this problem last year?
Okay.
They only had like 2 or 3 matches announced. Becky versus somebody was one of them. And that they were really pushing that because it's Becky, you gotta love it, it's Becky. But there's only 4 fucking matches so far. McIntyre versus Orton inside the cell. Give me a number.
8. 8. Yeah, 8.
Where is that coming from?
Mostly McIntyre, but some of it is a little bit Orton. You know, usually I'm like, Blended Orton, but the last couple of weeks or so, he's been pretty entertaining. And I think he is a credible threat to Drew, so that's kind of got my attention a little bit. I still want Drew to win, and in fact, I'm still picking Drew to win. But if he doesn't, I wouldn't be surprised. But I'm kind of digging what Orton's doing right now.
I got a 5.
5?
Is that all McIntyre?
Yes.
Okay.
The story is, for me, is just watered down already. I don't
It's
see
too
it.
much?
Yeah. I don't see it going any.
Devil's advocate. If it wasn't Orton at Hell in a Cell, regardless, let's assume it's not a Hell in a Cell match.
Mhm.
If Orton's story was done with all the old timers last month, who's next?
Who's next for Drew?
Yeah. Who's Drew defending the title against?
And that's
Pick anybody because the draft just happened. You could have moved somebody, so within 3 weeks' notice, you could have had somebody.
well, we got the team. That's the only credible threat that I see. Other than that, I really don't see anybody unless they're gonna do that whole celebrity thing with who's the boxing guy?
Oh,
Tyson Fury?
Yes.
Tyson Fury, yeah. That
Which I still don't agree, but
I'd rather have it on a throwaway pay-per-view. So it has to be Orton then. Again, just for the
because
sake of argument.
Keith Lee is not even built up that much, and basically all the stuff that they're trying to prevent.
You could have had it with Keith Lee, but then the whole thing kept going wrong. Yeah, and now we're just gonna blow each other. Yeah, that's how we're gonna like book matches on Raw every week.
Yeah.
So,
but well, I don't mind the low blow fest with Keith and yeah, I know.
If there's one person at this table that likes big bacon.
Yeah. So I kind of dig that story, and I think what made it for me was Keith Lee kicking him back in the nuts, Braun Strowman, and then standing over him and saying, "You're going to take a shortcut with me?" Like, that's the best reaction to a low blow I've ever seen. You know, like, all right, boom.
Well, I've dated a couple of girls that gave me a better reaction to a low blow than I've ever seen. But I'm at an 8. I'm in the same boat as you. This is like the debutante's debut in the Hell in a Cell. I'm all about seeing what McIntyre's going to do. What he can add to a Hell in a Cell match that we've already had.
Yeah. I think Lacey Evans is in the match or something.
Yeah, like she needs a tag partner. I'm just curious if he can add a new wrinkle to the match or what. I mean, Orton mostly has, there's moments, like he has certain people that when the chemistry's there, it's fucking good.
Yeah.
And for the most part, I'm gonna cautiously say this: the Orton versus McIntyre stuff was pretty good. If it would have ended at SummerSlam, or whatever, Night of Champions, if it had ended there with the whole Big Show and Christian and Ric Flair and Shawn Michaels, that was a perfect bow tie. Yeah. Dunzo. So we're doing this again. So I'm hoping this is it.
Yeah.
I don't see Orton win. But that's the problem. Like, that puts us in the same situation. Like, if Orton wins, do you want to see Orton versus Drew another time? If Orton doesn't win, who's next? AJ and the 8-foot-tall Kimbe?
Basically, Shawn
Diesel?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
don't know. They're going to have to build someone quick.
Who's winning?
Drew. What else we got?
An I Quit match inside of Hell in a Cell. Rematch.
So this is a second Hell in a Cell match. Yeah. Okay, I quit.
Yeah, Roman versus Jey Uso.
7? Yeah, I think I'm at a 7. I like the idea of an I Quit match. I don't like the idea of it being in the cell. And I dig the story. It's just, I feel like, after you open up the can of Pringles and you let it sit, Pringles go stale real fast, and like, they're good Pringles, but, I was expecting something else, like where's the other Uso in all this? Like, the other Uso hasn't been around, and they're still, they're stuck. They're stuck,
If you really like Pringles, you would never leave them out long enough to get stale, right?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Where you at?
I got it at a 9.
9!
Here's the reason why.
Oh,
Here's the reason why. How did the last match that they had?
The last match?
Yeah. How did it end it?
It basically wasn't I Quit. Jey Uso verbally told him, "You're the chief. You're the chief.
Yeah.
Get off my dick already."
Now, it wasn't Jay. It was the other one.
It was the other one. Yeah. Imply the Hell in a Cell where nobody can technically get back in. Roman could literally push that limit all the way to the end. All right, I'm gonna put you down basically until you tell me. That's when you're finally gonna get, okay, yeah, you are the tribal chief.
Yeah. And that's gonna be the end of it? I wanted this to escalate.
It still can.
It still can.
It still can.
Yeah.
I'm also at a 9, and most of that is last year or 2 years ago. Usos versus New Day Hell in a Cell as our match of the year.
Two.
Candidate.
I think it was
2 years ago.
Yeah, that was a good match.
If there's a chance, a sliver of hope that Jay could actually squeak it out, it's in the Hell in a Cell because he's proven that he can go that far. Uso penitentiary.
Yeah.
So it's to his advantage. Motherfucker gonna get whooped, but he's gonna look even better than he did Night of Champions.
Okay.
This is gonna the only drawback for me is I don't want to be that guy. Of course, I'm gonna be that guy. This is probably gonna solidify Jay as a future single star, and I don't know what the fuck they're gonna do with him. Because Jay right now is fucking murdering it. Yeah. He's one of the few reasons why I watch SmackDown, either live on the telly or the first clip I look for on YouTube or on my Facebook feed, because of what they're doing. Roman right now is this is the most comfortable in his skin Roman has been.
Do you think that WWE is actually going to treat Roman and Jay in this match as equals and book them in the match as equals? Because
no, hell no.
Well,
Roman's gonna be the equal without having to go as far as Jay. Yeah. That's how Jay's gonna be booked as equal.
And that's why I don't have such high hopes as you do when you look at New Day versus Usos Hell in a Cell. I don't think all the creative shit that those two tag teams did 2 years ago is what we're gonna see out of Jay in this match. I think this match is just gonna be another, dominant whooping by
the Chief.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna see as much competitive edge. Yeah.
I do too, but it's on Roman team.
Roman will win. Yeah.
Hell in a Cell number 3.
So there's a third cell match.
Sasha versus Bayley. Where are you at?
I don't know. I think I got it at a 7 because the story became stagnant.
This should have happened 3 months ago.
Yes.
Okay.
They basically let the Pringles out. Let it get stuck.
They let the Pringles out.
You agree?
Let the Pringles out.
No. I'm gonna be at a 9.
A 9?
A 9. And I am going to forget about the fucking Pringles. And
now we're going to Doritos.
Yes. Yeah. We're getting a fresh bag of Doritos. I don't care that this is the last bag out of a 162 container that I've ate all the others, but it's still a fresh bag. It ain't stale because it's been sealed, vacuum sealed. Yes, this should have happened months ago, but I love, this is what turned me around. I love. Oh! Bailey said, well, I had to do it because you were about to do it. I knew you were about to do it all along. Yep. That saved it for me. That saved the whole all this teasing of Sasha's gonna turn on Bailey, and then when Bailey did it, I was like, But the reasoning in the promo, I knew you were gonna do it this whole time, and I won this, and I kept this by myself the whole time, the 300 some odd whatever days. And Sasha's expression when she said that, she was like, you bitch. And it's like, yeah, I'm a bitch. Here's what I'm a bitch, because I knew you was going to do it the whole time. I just had you in my back pocket. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. And the outfit that Sasha was wearing really helped. That cat suit, dude. Oh, god damn, dude. Oh, Kazi, you son of a bitch.
For whatever reason, whether it's Sasha's character or Sasha as a human being, does such a good job at being a bitch that I can never buy her as a babyface. I'm at an 8, and oddly enough, for all the boring shit that Bayley's had to go through in her title run, matches with fucking Lacey Evans, and then when Cross, all this Dana Brooke, all these whack ass fucking title matches. She's the one pulling out she's the one that's grabbing my attention in this rivalry. Now, partly with that promo that she cut. I think Bayley has done a better job. Of course, she's had more time this whole year. But so far in the microcosm, I think Bayley has done a better job of being a heel than Sasha's ever done being a babyface. And that's what's hooking me in this match.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I had the doubts when she cut her hair and beat Charlotte and killed the buddies and all that. I had my doubts then. Now, she's probably one of the best women heels in the business right now. Bayley.
Yeah,
I'm just waiting mid-match for her to pick up a cell phone and call 911 on top. I'm waiting for it.
She, as a heel, has grown on me. I think she's
Yeah.
grown into the role.
Yeah.
When she beat up the Bayley buddies with the fucking little pokey stick, like, no, I was like, no. And then the whack-ass entrance music, that's still kind of whack right now, that's going on.
The riff's kind of cool, but the whole thing itself's kind of cool.
But the Bob, it was just like, really, you're just gonna have a Bob, like, you're just gonna get another fucking Karen. But like, she's really grown into that, where I believe it now. I see the vision that she had when she was first turning heel, you know? So I'm on board.
I got Bayley wins.
I think
this goes at least till the end of the year.
I got Bayley. Damn, we haven't disagreed on any of these predictions yet.
Elias versus Hardy.
Okay.
That's on the show.
Is that a Hell in a Cell also? Okay.
No, I'm hoping this is it.
It's just a regular
It's a regular match.
match. We'll go with the 5. Most of that is for the shenanigans of him singing again. Not even necessarily for him wrestling again. I love the fact that he has an album coming out on Monday and that he actually was able to pull off a performance with a real band.
He finished the performance.
Yes.
He's over now.
So I'm like, all right, cool. But I dig all that ancillary shit more than I want to see him in the ring. At Jeff Hardy, yeah, I picked that up.
To be honest, I wasn't a big fan of the whole Elias versus Jeff Hardy feud before Hardy got hurt or went back to rehab, because they were really, Vince McMahon has a fucking, I thought I was crazy. He's got a twisted humor of trying to like really agitate people's weaknesses to see if they can overcome them, so that in Vince's mind he can reinvest in them again. Jeff Hardy's a former heavyweight champion. He's been in rivalries with Triple H, with fucking Edge, you know, Orton. He's main event caliber. You don't need to retest his skills by replaying again the sobriety angle with him.
Yeah.
You know, so already I'm already taken out of this. The only thing that I can focus on is that I hope that next week we get Jeff Hardy and his band playing some Enigma shit, and we actually keep the music aspect going, because that's what's hooking me right now. That's fresh. This is John Cena, Chris Jericho and Fozzy against Cena in the battle rap. You know, give that to me. That's fresh. You know, sometimes, well, we had this conversation last time. Sometimes I watch wrestling to escape reality. I've seen enough Jeff Hardy documentaries. I've watched enough Dark Side of the Ring. You don't have to remind me Jeff Hardy's struggling. Mm-hmm. Right now, we all struggling in our own way. So I don't want to see it from Jeff. So don't replay that shit. That's why I got checked out with his shit with Sheamus when Jeff first came back. Oh, we're doing that shit again. Oh, fuck. Okay, now with Elias, we're hitching again to the story that we left you with before you left, was because you left, because you can't fucking control yourself. God damn, dude.
Yeah. Let him live down his own demons. That way you're not reminding him of it, and when you remind him of it, that fucking tempts him. Yeah. So, yeah, like, we all know, he knows, everybody in the back knows. It's just, hey, when you go out there to fucking perform, let him perform.
It's almost a universal truth. I'm at a 0 for this match.
0.
I've got Elias winning.
Hector, what about you?
I got a 1.
A 1. What do you got? I got Elias winning. Fuck it, I got Hardy winning.
Okay, good. Overall, 4 matches. This is going to be a very short paper.
That's it?
What do you think?
That can't be it.
There's going to be a match or 2 announced tomorrow. But I think in a conference call, Vince made it clear that he wants the pay-per-views to be shorter. Last pay-per-view was only like 2.5 hours, 2:45. Shorter than Raw.
Why does he want them shorter?
Okay. He's not making any money on me.
Really? I mean, I guess
he's giving away Hell in a Cell for 99 cents for new subscribers this month. So, yeah.
Okay. I mean, there's...
Are you watching this? Oh, don't give me a number. Are you watching this live?
No.
No.
Maybe. I might be watching it on the delay.
No.
I might just watch one match.
I don't want to have
to be the Uso.
Yeah.
Sunday's not what I'm looking forward to. It's always been, and it will for now be, Wednesday. So let's talk about Wednesday. Two sides of the coin. You want to go heads or tails first?
Heads.
Heads. NXT.
I thought he was going to flip a coin. That's why I answered so fast. But the coin, bitch. Is it heads?
I got your head, baby.
Oh!
NXT.
What does everybody want?
NXT is bringing back Halloween Havoc. Shotzi Blackheart is hosting. This is what we've got so far. And I'm going to bust this nut real quick. But I'm going to ask y'all first. Raquel Gonzalez against Rhea Ripley. Where are you at?
I got it at 8.
Okay.
Two tall Amazonian women fighting each other. Man, that's gonna be a good one. For me, it's gonna. Honestly, I'm expecting it to be better than Rhea and even say Charlotte.
Okay.
I just see more from not Ridley, but who's the other one? Raquel.
Who's the other one?
Sorry,
Dark Rhea. Abel, where are you at?
I'm at an 8 also.
Because you turn it sideways and it's two boobies.
Yes. God, I don't know what it is about Raquel, but like I really dig Raquel.
And you sound like that's not from a wrestling point.
Yeah.
I mean, I really dig Raquel. I really dig Rhea Ripley. So I think on paper that match sounds like it's going to be good. I don't really have a whole lot of invested storyline wise and all this. Like, I get it. There's some angles there, but it's like whatever. But I kind of want to see what's going to happen because Rhea is she's seasoned, right? So we know she could go. We know she can hold her own. Raquel's not exactly seasoned, but I think she's like. I don't think she's green. I think she's undiscovered. So I want to see, is she green? Is she as green as she should be with the how many matches we haven't seen her in? Or is she really going to step it up against a really formidable opponent and be able to put on cool ass shit that I think she could possibly do? That's what's piqued my interest.
This could be the pressure that turns coal into diamonds for Raquel.
Okay. 10?
Wow.
You're at a 10?
Beef! When was the last time that there was a female Haas match? Keith Lee versus Braun Strowman. Two big guys that you're Ishii Takagi.
I mean,
I'm getting the vibe.
Yeah.
The vibe. I don't know what that's what I'm gonna get, but the vibe so far is that's what I'm gonna get in woman form. And I am all about woman form.
Right.
This. I don't want to. And that's the thing. There's never been the equals
closest
like
we've
we've had.
was Beth versus Natalia. Whenever they split up, when they were what were they called?
Divas of Doom.
Divas of
There
Doom.
weren't.
They split up,
But
they
there
had
weren't
a match.
equal stature, let alone.
Natalia was a tough bitch, though.
Yeah.
And we never saw China versus Beth. If we saw China versus Beth, then
Awesome Kong versus Havoc in Impact.
yeah.
But yeah, it's very rare that you get two women of these statures go face to face. And I'm ready for it, man. I don't want to go overboard, but I'm going to say it anyway. This could steal the episode. This could be the best match of the episode.
Do you have one?
I've got, you know what? Keep it going. I've got Raquel in this.
Really?
Yep.
I think Rhea's going to take it.
Actually, good idea. I got Raquel in this.
Really?
I want more of this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I wouldn't mind it.
I don't know what a haunted house of terror is, but Rick Grimes.
Rick Grimes.
Carl.
Damn it, get back in the house. Get back in the house of terror.
I actually meant Grimy from The Simpsons, but yeah, that one too. Cameron Grimes against Dexter Loomis will be in a haunted house of terror match.
I'm at an 8. I did Dexter. Grimes has been growing on me.
Yeah. To the moon!
He's goofy enough to where I'm like, okay, you're kind of adorable.
It's almost like so bad it's good.
Yeah, at first I thought he was annoying. Now I'm like, oh, this is endearing. The gimmick itself, like, kind of raises it for me, and I think I would have been at like a 6 or a 7. But the gimmick itself, since I don't really know what it is, but it just sounds wacky, and it's October. It's close to Halloween. Okay, what the fuck is this? Let me have it. Let me see. Okay, this is pretty hokey. This is pretty dumb. Pretty camp. All right. But I got some chuckles out of it. Okay, sure, whatever. It'll probably be a guilty pleasure, you know?
Wouldn't it be funny to do like a cameo with the Funhouse? Trying to throw through a door, and next thing you know, Bray Wyatt's on the other side. What are you doing?
No,
Yeah.
there's a window at Bray speaking.
Yeah.
Damn neighbors.
There's a fucking buzzards over there, like, what the hell?
I'm out of candy. I'm at an 8. What clinched it was last night. Another example of how out there Dexter Lumis is. You missed this.
Yeah, I did.
Backstage, one of the reporters is following Cameron Grimes and asking him about the match with Dexter next week. And he cuts her off before she says the stipulation. And when she finally stops him, she stops him in front of a door that's half glass. And Dexter pops up behind it. He doesn't say shit. He doesn't do shit. He's just like,
just like that.
and the whole time, and then like Cameron's face like disintegrating when he finds out that he's like fucked.
Yeah.
And Dexter's still back there like.
The reporter's cutting off, and he's still
Yeah. And then the whole segment ends. He leaves one way, she leaves the other way, and Dexter's still there. I'm at an 8.
Okay.
I've got Dexter. I got Dexter Williams.
Yeah.
Dexter?
Yeah.
So what's your number?
I got it at 8 too.
8? Okay.
Just because of the whole segment from yesterday. Like, all right, I'm digging this thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Spin the wheel, make a deal. Io versus Candice.
So basically, the gimmick is we don't know the gimmick until they spin the wheel.
Exactly.
7. I mean, I like Io, I like Candice. I already kind of said that I'm interested with this other gimmick match, but this gimmick, which is just the wheel gimmick, like I'm afraid it's just gonna land on Extreme Rules, and that's it. Like, oh great, you're both count anywhere. You know, it's something dumb. You know.
After watching last night's episode, was the first time in a while that I watched the NXT episode. Their biggest strength last night was the promos. This is another example. I really don't give a fuck about either one of these two matches coming up right now. But the promo, when they were here in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And they had and Candice,
This very kitchen.
Yes, yeah. And then you brought out the training wheel.
Yeah.
So it's a very miniature wheel that had all the stipulations written on it because I don't like wheels. I like to be in control, and I don't like to have that control given up to something that I'm afraid of.
Yeah.
And so Johnny tries it out because you tell me it's okay, and I try it out, and it lands on Buried Alive. I was like, I don't want to be buried alive. I don't want to get dirt thrown on me. I'm still breathing. I'm still alive. Fuck this goddamn wheel. And then Candice, she tries it. She spins it. It's a trick or street fight. She's undefeated in street fights. Oh. And another touch that I like. And then she's like, come on, honey, try it again. So I sit back again and I spin the wheel again. And it's a fucking casket match. I'm like, this fucking wheel wants me dead? What the fuck? And he leaves. Just that raised the anticipation to both the matches for me. For the women, because it's Io, I'm at an 8 now. Just because of that little extra oomph they gave that. And because it's Io. Like, I haven't seen Io have a bad match with anyone. I will watch it. If it was Io versus Velveteen Dream, I would watch it. Not because it has Velveteen, but because it has Io. That's the kind of gravitas she has with me right now. Mm-hmm. So as much as I'm not a fan of Candice, I'm going to watch this match because it's Io. So I'm at an 8. But the Candice promo helped me win a little bit of Candice over. So I'm at an 8. Of course I got Io in it.
I got it at 8 too. That promo sold me. Triple matches.
Really?
Gargano's thing at the very end.
I want a wheel now.
Yes.
Like if that's on WWE Shop, it's in my living room.
But what if it is a stupid match though?
That's the point.
Okay. All right. Yeah, Porsche in the live chat said, I don't like circles, maybe people.
Where are you at?
I thought I said. Did I say? Did I give my number?
No.
7.
7. Who got winning?
Yeah, I hope.
You got Candice. What? Yes.
Candice wins.
Continue the story.
Okay.
Somebody has to. Oh, well, there we go. Damian Priest against Johnny Gargano for the North American title. Again, spin the wheel, make a deal.
Oh, this is also spin the
Yeah.
wheel? Oh, goddamn.
Yeah.
That is 6.
7.
Okay. Whoa. Okay. Defend yourself, sir.
Besides the promo, because we already mentioned that promo.
Well, not the Gargano promo, but the Priest promo. At the very end, Priest said, "I could take the punishment. Can you?" Giving him the question of like, "Hey, can you actually take the punishment?" You lost.
He's a real wildcat.
But he also told him basically like, "You're trying to figure out who you are. If you still are Johnny Wrestling." It's like, yeah, you are still Johnny Wrestling, but I'm just way better than you know. So the build-up is there, and then the spin the wheel thing just kind of like, all right, I'm there.
You were in the middle. I'm at a 7. Yeah, most of it is because unfortunately, not yet, but as of right now, Priest does not have the same allure to me that Io does. So I'm probably might skip most of this match because of Gargano, but I want to see how it ends. But that does, because you mentioned it earlier, that does bring up an interesting dynamic. If we get Bayley Sasha again, to say, what if Candice wins the belt, but Johnny doesn't, and Candice is walking around with the belt, and Johnny's like, what the fuck, man? You get that rift, or the other way around, you know, something that adds a little bit of intrigue to it that I didn't really put my finger on. Again, we've had this conversation before. Wednesdays, I watch Dynamite first, so I don't have as much of an investment overall on the Capital Wrestling Center show that they're giving me every week on NXT, but I'm getting there. And last night / today, when I saw it during lunch, was a good example of why I should continue to watch NXT, because for whatever negatives it had, there were some diamonds in the rough there. Yeah. Theory and fucking Bronson Reed did some good shit too.
2 matches in one night.
Yeah. That shit was good.
Bronson won it, and then he left.
Yeah.
I like Bronson.
Dude. I'm hoping. It's not gonna happen. I'm hoping the people that were talking shit about Drake Maverick still having a contract would shut up after last night.
Oh yeah.
I was in the car cheering my fucking ass off. That whole thing when Drake actually hulked up and beat the shit out of Everrise.
You said in the car?
I watched during my lunch break. I in the car.
Oh, okay.
And I was
like,
watching
it. Sit down,
and I'm
watching wrestling at the same time. Driving with your knees.
And I'm like, this is the Drake that won me over in Impact. And this is the Drake that we're getting now. And I was expecting another punch in the face, but Drake actually standing up and taking it. So when fucking what's his face, Killian was like, oh my god, like he marked out like a
this is what I wanted.
Where was this been? Yeah.
And then the music plays.
And then Drake does the dance. I was like, wait, I like you, but I don't like you. I'm leaving. You know?
So what I loved is what Killian said last week, where it's like, nobody can hit you but me. I died laughing. That was funny, man.
Yeah, and and giving the credit they're due, the fat bucks, they really can put people over. Everrise, they're the fat bucks. Yeah. Dude, look at them and don't tell me that they look like the young bucks after like aging technology. Like 50 years from now, on episode of Unsolved Mysteries, they'll look like that. Yeah, that's it. But they got their own little shit. The whole thing was good. I'm like all in on Killian and Drake now. That fucking theme song is so ridiculous. I love that theme song. It's so dumb.
The graphics are like a generic.
Yeah.
Like to put the name on there. That's it. Blue.
All right.
Speaking of stupid and ridiculous, I think I told you about this, but have either one of you watched the R-Truth game show on the network?
Yeah, I did. I saw an episode already.
Yeah.
I'm actually gonna watch another one tomorrow.
That was so stupid, and I loved it so much. R-Truth game show was so funny.
I'll see your R-Truth and I'll raise you something I saw yesterday.
What?
The new season of Storytime.
Ah, okay.
Fun shit, animation, same thing, but just a little detail. 5 seconds was all it was, and it was so meaningful to me because Storytime is one of my favorite shows that the WWE Network has ever produced. That and WrestleMania Rewind.
Yeah.
The first 5 seconds, it had Jerry Lawler putting up a picture of Mean Gene a story time animated like on the shelf over the fireplace. And then Jerry intros the show. You can already tell. And that's 5 seconds. 5 seconds.
Yeah.
5 seconds was all it took. And I was like, all right, you got my blessing now. Let's get into this. And the episodes are hilarious as fuck. Both of them, they had clips with Stu Hart. I could never get enough Stu Hart shit. Never. It was good. But again, sometimes you just need that 30 seconds, and that little piece was all I needed for them to do it. Not to be fucking morbid, but that's what they're gonna do with Law. They're gonna do that, but so they even keep the thing going, But that was cool. I liked it. There's a lot on the network to watch. Yeah.
Especially with the new the special they got this month going. 30 Days of the Undertaker or something like that.
Oh yeah, for the 25th anniversary.
Yeah.
The that Paul Bear documentary they're doing. They're
was it the
Untold.
Mortician?
The Mortician.
The Mortician.
Yeah.
I think after Hell in a Cell on Sunday is the
Untold Hell in a
Randy.
Cell. Dude, the Untolds are good too.
Yeah. I'm waiting for Brothers of Destruction. I want.
Can you believe they're gonna play that at ACL film something? They're supposed to be
festival?
Yeah, they're supposed to be debuting that Brothers of Destruction movie in a film festival.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so it's actually getting a lot of love for.
Hell, I enjoyed the whole The Last Ride.
Oh yeah,
Seeing all that stuff, I was like, oh man, you know what?
They
A lot of stuff makes sense.
if the timing was right, as soon as that series finished, they could have sold it to ESPN, and ESPN could have got some
60
ratings
for
on it.
60.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's so good shit. So that's what NXT's bringing us this Wednesday.
You didn't mention the switch of the tag team.
Oh yeah,
That was interesting too.
I like that. I like that a lot. It's like you're on this brand, you're on this brand. Okay, that's it. Okay.
Well, no.
That's not what he meant.
Oh.
So there is an underlying story.
Uh-huh.
One by one,
One
by one, members of the Undisputed Era were taken out. The main event was supposed to be a tag match with the Undisputed Era against Breezango for the titles.
Yeah.
And I love the way they tied that off. They had already jumped Bobby Fish. So it was supposed to be Bobby Fish and Roderick Strong. They jumped Bobby Fish. So then Kyle O'Reilly was cleared. So William Regal made it Strong and O'Reilly against Breezango for the titles. Then later on, Strong was knocked out. And so then they came back from commercial, and Kylo's standing there with William Regal. Breezango's right here, and T12 are right here. And he tells Kylo, you want to pick a partner? Like, you want to pick one of these two? And even Orby Lorcan and Danny Burch are like, you want it fair and square, bro. That's your match. You can pick one of us. And I've never heard of this done before, and I like that the uniqueness. Kyle's like, fuck this. I'm going to go be with my friends in the hospital. So he completely dished the title belts. Again, proving that there's something more important than the belt.
He's like, give it to them.
Oh, okay.
And so he gave them the title shot to Lorcan and Burch.
Okay. I had no idea that.
We'll swing to that because I want to mention that too.
But that sounds actually really cool.
Just for Lorcan and Burch to turn heel and they win the NXT tag titles. The person that brought all it together, Pat McAfee.
Oh, that Pat McAfee, that son of a bitch!
I would have gotten away with it if it wasn't that damn Pat McAfee.
He had
that Cobra Commander mask.
Oh, that son of a bitch!
And a part of me was a bit disappointed because imagine, just listen to this: War Games, Undisputed Era against only Lorcan, Danny Burch, Pat McAfee, and an up-and-coming Ridge Holland.
Yes.
That would have been fucking brutal.
Yeah,
dude.
that would have been cool.
But Pat McAfee went out there and laid it out. Like, he got them. Dude, did you see that post promo on
The one
Facebook?
on his the Pat McAfee show? He's like, I'm back.
This show was better when there was nobody. It was great.
Yeah. He's like, in his show, he's like, I'm going to continue to talk shit on my show throughout the whole day. But he opened the show with that. Like, thanks to this mask, and he pulled out the mask, I took out the Undisputed Era with Grand Scheme and everything. I'm like, damn.
Yeah, that was some good shit. That's funny. Yeah. So that's what NXT is giving us Wednesday. Tails, Dynamite, semifinals of the Eliminator title tournament. Male beef Wardlow versus Adam Page.
Yes.
First time ever.
It's a lot of beef. 8. 8.5. 8.5. I think it's pretty clear who's going to win this. I think it's going to be Hangman. I think it's really going to be Wardlow. So that's kind of what's keeping me from like a 9 or a 10. I like me some Wardlow, and I mean, Adam Page is, he's pretty good too, but I've never been a big fan of his, but I understand his importance in the story and in AEW. Like I give him more credit because of who he is than what I like that he does in the ring, if that makes sense. Do you get that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? Okay. So, yeah, that's where I'm at.
You're at 8.
8.
How about you?
Hangman's on it.
Don't go there yet.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool. I already went.
I got it at the same thing, 8. But for me, it's just the underlying story that's going on, mostly for Hangman. But with Wardlow, it's like, okay, his last major shot was, kind of like the light on him. The last time he had the light on him, the spotlight on him, was him and Cody in that cage match, right?
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, he's been only showing up on Dark.
Yeah.
But now that he's showing up on the tournament without MJF, it's like, okay, you, just like JR said, what's it called? Muscle sells tickets. Muscle sells tickets. Well, all right.
Muscles with agility. That's how he was framing it specifically.
Yeah. So with that being said, it's like, okay, obviously there's writing on the wall of,
Don't give a pick yet.
Yeah. But I am kind of hesitant. I'm like, all right, are they going to pull the rug under us and just like,
We'll get there. I'm at a 9.
Uh-huh.
Obviously, hands washed, the whole thing. That I've never liked Adam Page more than I do right now. I honestly, when we saw him in Ring of Honor, and he wasn't even like a face or a heel. He just had blue tights. Nobody knew what he was, but he could go.
Oh, he's the Adam that's not the cool one.
Yeah. So now, I'm all in on Page.
All in.
I'm not sure if you guys knew that
Okay.
Wardlow only had 9 wrestling matches before that cage match with Cody in his career.
Ever?
Ever. No.
Wow. Okay.
So where he's at now, last night was an example of 2 guys going from here to here. Jungle Boy made Wardlow look like a fucking beast.
yes.
Jungle Boy bumped the shit out of himself.
At the same time, the timing of some of the comebacks, Wardlow's picking up some good timing skills because that made Jungle Boy almost like the underdog of that whole company.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them look good. So with Wardlow winning against Hangman, I'm at 9.
Okay.
I think the only thing that's keeping me is the crux of the feud with Page and Omega. I've seen a lot of alternatives that will do low blows to end matches.
The new reboot version of the Queen.
Yeah.
So I haven't seen that yet.
And on the other side, at least in this tournament, Phoenix is an instant babyface after that match he had with Penta.
Yeah.
So babyface Phoenix against asshole Kenny Omega.
10.
I love that 20-minute time limit too. I doubt they'll go there, but the fact that they keep mentioning it,
They may get close. I don't know if
Yeah.
they'll pull the trigger on the time.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. They might. I'm at a 9.5. I honestly think that the only thing that's keeping me is the fact that this match is just because of tournament and not necessarily there's a storyline behind it. I think these 2 could put on an amazing match. I know that these 2 could put on an amazing match.
I've seen one of them.
Yeah.
Good shit.
Yeah. So
Last I ate all that up.
it should be really good. Kenny versus Sunny Kiss
Was exactly what it needed to be.
I thought it was funny.
And that was a shoe-in
Yeah.
because of the Joey Janela thing.
Oh, that man.
Yeah, Joey's like,
Dude, so there's goddamn Caucasian people. Dude, COVID is a serious business. So I almost spent some hard-earned coin last weekend because last weekend was Game Changer Wrestling GCW's collective weekend. There was like 8 different wrestling shows between Saturday and Sunday. This weird match this weird match that caught my attention that I wanted to actually watch was Too Cold Scorpio against AR Fox.
Ooh.
That was my exact reaction when I saw it. So there was 8 shows around the entire weekend, and they had an audience there. And one of the people that Joey Janela wrestled that weekend actually had the virus.
Whoa.
So for everyone's safety, he sat out and they replaced him with Sun Kiss last minute. So that's why we got that. But I'm 99% sure we would have got the same result with Joey also, which was squash, cleaners here. That fucking elaborate entrance, man.
That elaborate entrance is so ridiculous.
What's ridiculous? Would you wrestle in North Carolina?
No.
Exactly. So it's not ridiculous. It was a very good intro.
All the accolades.
And then, yeah.
It was
and then, like,
from years ago, but still, they count.
And that face at the
end. There was a lot of hate that I saw online for that match where people were like, oh, I should have squashed Sonny Kiss.
Oh, we're saving the hate for the end of the show.
Yeah, I think it was all right. You know, it just, what I'm glad didn't happen is I didn't want Kenny to then beat down Sonny after the match because it seemed like that they were teasing that when he was trying to show Sonny some respect and holding up, you know, the arm and all that. Like, oh shit, here it comes.
That was kind of weird too.
Hold up the arm and then.
I don't know if I would have preferred a jumping over what we ended up getting.
I preferred it because I think it's not a hard heel turn. I think he's just a dick. He's just an asshole.
Because people think he's a dick and asshole, so run with it.
Yeah.
But he's playing it as the face. He thinks he's a face, but he's actually doing heel stuff.
Yeah. And I think that, like, part of what this is a caricature of what he should have been from the get-go. From the get-go, he should have been the cleaner. He should have never dropped the cleaner name. He probably could have still came out with the broom instead of having like 4 or 5 fucking chicks in bikinis with the brooms. But he should also been the guy with the most elaborate entrance, not Cody. You know, like, this is the guy that they should have built AEW around, and they didn't. And I think this is all what we saw last night was tongue-in-cheek. Well, this is what you wanted, so, you know. And I think it's kind of, there's layers to it. I think they're kind of mocking us in a way, but it's also making him seem like an asshole. But he's not full-on heel turning. So, yeah, I dig it.
Is the finals obvious?
Yes. Hangman versus Kenny. Super duper obvious.
I was under the impression that the finals was going to be on TNT and the winner was going to get a title shot at full year. It wasn't until Scott pointed out to me that the finals is at full year. And even then, it's too much of a red herring. We're going to go through the rest of the card for Full Gear in a couple of weeks, but it's pretty stacked. You're already getting a match that's 4 years in the making. For the tag titles, you're getting a match that 15 Seconds of Fame took Eddie Kingston from just a one-night-only talent to contracted, signed, main event title match of one of their big pay-per-views of the year with Eddie and Moxley.
Yeah.
I'm going to sound weird saying this, but there's enough meat on that bone that you don't have to pull the trigger now with Kenny and Hangman. I've got Kenny costing Hangman his match.
What?
And then at the pay-per-view, I have Hangman costing Kenny the finals.
What?
And then the story keeps going.
Okay.
Honestly,
Wardlow?
Listen, honestly,
Wardlow.
Let me finish.
Okay.
Honestly, you don't need any more fucking toppings on that pizza. It's edible, it's delicious, it's ready to go. You could. I was thinking, here's my train of thought, about to leave the station, that we were opening the pay-per-view with Kenny versus Hangman. And the finals of the tournament was Big Monster Wardlow versus Babyface Phoenix for #1 contender. Kingston sold so well on the promo that, oh man, I don't mind if either Pence or Phoenix win the belt. If I have to defend against him, it's family. It would be my honor to defend against them.
Yes.
And typical sports entertainment fashion, Mick Foley never said I quit to The Rock in that match. he recorded a promo and he said the words, "I quit." What did Jon Moxley say on his promo last night?
He did say the word.
What words did he say?
What was it? I didn't quit, or something along those lines. But he did say
he said the words, "I quit." So bet they're gonna play that over the speaker, and the ref is gonna take that as an actual call from Moxley. That's how Kingston wins the belt.
Oh, that's gonna be some bullshit.
Hey, but that'll protect
Yeah.
Moxley in a loss,
Yeah.
and you can keep that. Dude, after last night, I want 2 more months of Moxley Kingston. And already, spoiler alert, I'm not going to be looking forward to the
frame. Get back in frame.
I am not looking forward to the actual match. It's going to be typical Jon Moxley hardcore CZW death match bullshit. But the story leading up to it is fucking platinum, bro.
Yep.
I want 2 more months of those two on the mic.
Have you seen the Being the Elite?
Not this last one.
Well, throughout this past month, they've been focusing on Eddie Kingston about promos.
Oh, he did the promo to the Apple
Yes.
a couple of weeks ago. Yeah.
And he did a promo to the Skittles bag too.
Oh, Lord.
And like literally everybody, you see people do like a circle around.
It's like promo class.
He's doing the promo, and they're like, "Damn, we don't know how he does it." And with the promo last night, it's like, "Oh shit, yeah,
Yeah.
he knows how to."
I will
get you.
send you the link to that episode where he's like, "Here's this apple. Cut a promo on this apple, and you want to see that apple get the comeuppance."
Yeah.
So Chris, Daniel Price, what's up, Daniel? In the live chat has a question for you. But how are you going to eat that pizza when you sold your stomach to get tickets? You're running out of organs, bro.
So is this the part of the show where I tell you that during Veterans Day week, I'm actually on vacation? I'll be driving to Telluride, Colorado for a couple of days. Then I'll be driving to Denver for a couple of days. I'll probably hit up Pikes Peak on the way back, and then come back down for a week.
Is there a show or something? Or
No, just because I can.
Okay.
Yeah, because I have the time off.
Yeah.
You know, and I still have a couple of extra organs
Yes.
that are on the black market.
He still has his spleen.
Yeah. Yes, spleen.
Good Lord.
So would you rather see, as the finals, Omega Page, Omega Wardlow, or Hangman Phoenix, or Phoenix Wardlow?
I'm gonna go with the obvious.
Of course.
Kenny Omega and Hangman, because that's one that's being built up that needs some blow. But if I don't get that, I kind of like the idea of Wardlow versus Phoenix.
I agree with that. It's like the way, even right now, the way you sold it is like, you know what, that makes a lot of sense. You don't blow off the steam of, okay, obviously we already know that Kenny or Paige are going to be the next contenders. Save that for when there's an audience.
Not just that, you're already giving away, spoiler alert, you're already giving away FTR versus the Young Bucks. You can only come so much at one time, bro. You need to breathe. So you can't stack your card that high. Save something for Revolution.
What is it that Big E once said on Twitter? Y'all want to be happy all the time?
Yeah.
It's going to be Omega and Paige. The whole tournament was a long way around to kill TV time. Thank you, Daniel.
But to AEW's credit, every episode of AEW Dynamite, by the time it's over, you know enough of what's going to happen next week that you're watching it.
True.
You know, they advertised last week these 4 matches. And I was like, oh, fuck, I'm watching these 4 matches. And now they've already advertised next week, there's these 2 matches. Like, oh, fuck, I'm watching that. And then next week they're advertising whatever the contract signing is and whatever the finals and shit. And so every week, just like Attitude Era, doesn't matter if you're in the mid-card or if you're in the main event or if you're curtain jerking. Every person on that show on the Attitude Era had a story, had a relevance, had a following, or had vitriol from the audience. And it feels like right now everybody on AEW has that same role. You know, fucking Britt Baker.
Like love for the man of the call.
Yeah, that was funny. That was awesome.
Are you watching AEW first, or are you watching Halloween Havoc first?
You know what? Just for namesake alone, watching Halloween Havoc. Yeah. just because it's Halloween Havoc. While this is a stacked episode of AEW, the name hooked me. It's Halloween Havoc. I gotta watch Halloween Havoc.
I think I'm taking AEW.
Okay. Omega swerves Phoenix with a broom that has a handle made of churros.
Last night, I wanted to watch NXT first.
Okay.
But the site that I used to catch that feed was somehow showing AEW. It was listed under NXT, but it was showing AEW. I clicked all 4 links, and they were still the same show, so I gave up and watched AEW.
The guy that put the feed is
But
like,
as good as AEW was, I'm already accustomed to have that kind of taste of AEW. I was pleasantly surprised enough with NXT that for 1 week, the rub, I'm going to start with NXT. The second they let me down,
you're switching that channel.
So they better start with fucking Rhea Ripley and Rhea Gonzalez, because that probably is the only real thing that I will stop anything that I'm doing to watch.
Yeah.
they're gonna make you wait.
Yeah, I know, right? Damn.
Bitch, that's it.
Like,
Shit. You mentioned it earlier, as we wrap up the show. Did you like the way they just like switched the tag titles from Raw and SmackDown between Private Party?
oh, now we're gonna talk about that.
Yeah.
Well, you already have my opinion. I said that about 15 minutes ago.
You, Hector, Private Party and New Day switching the titles.
It was weird.
It was weird.
Why? Because it was actually fucking Street Profits and not Private Party. You're not paying attention, fool.
Wait, was that Private Party?
Yes, twice, and neither one of you fucks got it. Taking applications for a new co-host.
I know, right?
One reliable, obviously, because Arnold's not here.
Yeah.
No, but for me,
Then you ask the wife, forgets to ask wife. Oh man, what the fuck happened? I don't know.
Hector, what do you think about the old switcheroo, red and blue?
again, it was weird. It was just weird.
I like the rub that Street Profits got off of it with New Day actually doing the catchphrase with him.
Yeah.
You know? It was odd. And it's wrestle, you know, just something. Yeah. You know, put them on a pole and you just run to opposite poles and grab them. Something, you know?
Sometimes the fucking easiest thing is the easiest thing. It makes sense. That's why I liked it. It made sense.
So does that make Adam Pearce a GM? Or what?
No, he's WWE official.
A ref
I
or something.
don't know what the fuck you mean by that, but you know, like, I don't know.
Who enjoyed Dancing with the Stars last night?
What? What the fuck are we talking about? Dancing with the Stars? No, I didn't watch it. Why? How was
You
it?
sure?
Yeah.
Jericho and MJF?
Oh! Here we
I was
go.
like Red Pack stuff.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that. It's dancing. I don't have the melody memorized. I'm sorry, guys.
Real gangsters do.
Yeah, you do. Can I love and hate this at the same time?
I do.
Okay, I love it and I hate it at the same time. I love it because it was funny, it's clever. It's something I've never really seen before. MJF and Jericho getting along. It's great. I hate it because wasn't AEW touting that they were going to be more sports-like and less sports
The
entertainment,
alternative to
and
WWE.
they're not going to do the hokey bullshit and the wins matter and blah blah blah. And it was like if I complained about this and Jericho somehow magically just walks through the door and says, "But were you not entertained?" I'll be like, "Yeah, I was. I was entertained." So it's like I want to argue against it, but I can't. But I do want to argue against it. So it's like, I don't know, man.
4 first-round tournament matches. 4-way match for #1 contender for tag titles, and Britt Baker. Yet, fans that really want to nitpick are going to nitpick about 5 minutes of a 2-hour show.
Okay.
And for me, it was the.
I mean, I don't know if it was audible to y'all, but I heard the exact moment when that segment was over where fucking Jim Cornette hit the ground and a heart attack. His one boy, MJF, Dunzo, like he admonished him on Twitter. It's like, I'm not giving anybody any more credit on AEW. Y'all fucked it up. Y'all tend to, for people that hate the segment tend to forget, Jericho's got the resume. He's the one fucker on that company that actually was on Dancing with the Stars and made it past the first elimination.
Oh,
come on, like.
That's what the whole Fandango thing happened when they faced from Romania.
Yeah.
But for me, it was.
The stakes were fucking wrong.
They were blue.
They took him out the wrapper and just dropped him on the plate. At least the potatoes were done.
Was it? This is not gonna work. Just like Orange Cassidy, and they both agreed. Like, all right.
Yeah.
But for me, it was entertaining because all the rubs, all the shots they were taking on all the people from AEW.
Yeah.
But what helped it out to be entertaining was the placement of it. You had all action. You need a buffer.
Yeah.
To build up because the following match was that fatal 4-way tag team match.
Yeah.
Which you kind of do need a palate cleansing. And that was it. So for me, it worked. Then I wasn't.
It technically for people that hate it, it technically did its job. You just described it. It's a palate cleanser. If you liked it, great, a little comedy. If you didn't like it, great. Let me turn this off for 10 minutes and take a fucking piss. So whether you hate it or not, it's
10 minutes.
I've been drinking a lot of water.
Okay.
Yeah.
But then when it comes to it about the nitpicking about being more sports entertainment, at the end of the day, AEW has done some gimmick matches already.
True.
When it comes to the Stampede, the freaking Dog collar, the one with Orange Cassidy and Jericho.
Oh, Mimosa Mayhem.
Oh,
delicious. Oh, dude. Since we're on that topic, MVP last week was fucking Tony Schiavone. That's
yes,
twofold. Number one
with Britt.
Yeah.
The
segment with Britt.
God,
Fucking he's getting waxed.
Oh yeah.
The other one, low key, that a lot of people didn't catch was when they announced those 4 teams. Oh, Butcher and the Blades, number 1. Oh, Private Party's the next one. John Silver and Jack Reynolds, fucking Dark Order. And then he sees it. His reaction to that whole thing made the entire fucking segment.
That was good.
God
That
damn.
was good.
Yeah.
Randy had to chime in. Who didn't like the musical segment? It put the entertainment in the sports.
There you go.
And then Daniel says, me, it was stupid.
Do you think Vince McMahon was out there like, this is some good shit?
This is a good shit, bro. God damn it down. Bruce, I want that on Friday.
God damn.
Get me the Mexican equivalent. Grab the Talik with the fucking cumbia and shit.
Put Otis in a luchador match.
I love that segment too.
El Gran Gordo.
The only disappointment was instead of a ham, man, you should have rolled up with like 2 dozen tamales.
Oh, yeah.
Tacos, fucking.
A whole fucking crumple and just slicing it off, man.
And then the Miz. I called it, you unfaithful whore. You cheating on Otis with his wetback.
Wow.
Lucha House Party right behind him.
Well, when Lucha House Party was up there, they were like, what the hell is this? What's going on? I love that.
I got the beat.
That made it, man. Oh, fuck. Lucha House Party looking out like, who the fuck is this
Bitch,
guy?
what you doing this weekend?
I don't know. Oh, I do know. Yeah, thank you for the segue that I wasn't expecting. So, yes, I was like, I don't know, what am I doing? Yeah, what? You have plans for me? No. This Saturday, DZW is making his triumphant return to Katy, Texas, but we have a new spot. We're at the Katy Boxing Club, so we're no longer in the Elks Lodge. But yeah, Katie Boxing Club.
So you're not buying tickets, you're buying a membership to get in.
No, you buy tickets to get in. It's just that's where it's at this time. You don't have to be a boxer. God damn it, Chris. Now,
Hey, DCW, I'm available.
this is something new. It's BYOB.
All right.
So yeah,
I got one person right
there you go. So yeah, come check it out. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be doing an announcement that night, but I need to double check. I might just be unofficial, and that's it. But yeah, Halloween, so come with your kiddos with their little costumes and whatnot. We'll do a little costume contest. But yeah, first time DCW has been back since the pandemic, basically, since February, I guess was the last show. Or was it March? I think it was February. Yeah, we're going to have Justin Bulldog Walker versus Alistair in a anything goes match. So that's going to be pretty brutal considering the history those two have had. So it's gonna get ugly. And yeah, there's going to be a couple other matches that are. So we have this match that's we're going to have a lot of people in this match. I think it's going to be like 7 folks, and it's like I forget. I suck at this. I forget what they're calling it, so I'm trying to look it up. But it was something about the Bull of the Ring, I think it was called. But we're having some old returning DCW guys, as well as some of the new fresh blood coming in, and then we have somebody outsider coming in too. So y'all really want to check that out. But yeah, this Saturday. Yes. So yeah,
wrestling. That's a club.
Yes. This is why.
Be there.
Free for members.
So yeah, it opens at 7. So make sure you come down. We got ringside seats, $15, adults 10.
Social distancing.
Social distancing. Wear your mask. Bring all that stuff. Here it is. Oh, the Bull of the Ring match. That's what it was called. I'm sorry, I couldn't get that right. But yeah. So we're excited to be back.
So no social distancing in the ring.
Yeah, I guess not for them anyway. That's part of being the Bull, I guess. One of you gets COVID. But no, come check it out. Seriously, it's been too long that we haven't been able to have wrestling here.
Just go Boo Abel.
What?
Just go Boo Abel.
Yeah, just
that's worth the price of it.
Go Boo me. Yes, Boo me. David Dupron, he's now the guy in charge of putting together these matches and booking and all this and that. And from what we hear, our champ Remedy, he's gonna be doing something. I think he's getting challenged for a title. So for the title. So definitely want to check that out. Come on down, and we'll be happy to see you. It's been too long. Once I see some of your faces, I'm gonna try our best to social distance, but I may run up and just give you a big hug or something because I'll just be happy to be back. But yeah.
He's charges for that.
Yeah.
I told you I'm starting the OnlyFans.
2 subscribers, we gotta start something like
that. Yeah, I mean that's $20 more than what I had before.
I will be doing something equally as entertaining this weekend.
Oh shit.
My buddy Scott from Scott. You know Scott from Scott. You're watching this show. He started his own podcast, On the Red Couch with Max Power. Max Power is a Simpsons reference for anybody that doesn't know.
Oh.
Yeah, I'd sing the song, but it takes too long. So one of the episode ideas that I came up with that I kind of dared him on, we're going to do a top 10 list of the Simpsons Halloween shorts. There's 3 shorts per episode. There's 30 episours. 31 will be debuting this Sunday. Yeah. And we will be, throughout the weekend, Scott and I are going to spend 13 hours watching every single episode.
Oh my God.
From 1 to 31.
Oh, wow.
And after 31 is when we turn on the camera and press the record on the microphone and we go off on our top 10.
Nice.
Yeah.
You gotta make sure you have that shit actually timed out, man, because if you take too long going to get food or taking a shit, you're gonna not be done watching it when the actual Simpsons episode goes live.
You got that ready to go, bro.
Yeah, you better.
I got it. Well, because this week was Hell itself.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm watching that. If anybody else has any interest in the show, we also started a My Virgin Eyes series.
I did see that.
Thank you very much, sir. It was a joke that was supposed to be on me because even Travis back in the Pop Culture Rewind days would give me so much shit because I haven't seen Back to the Future, Ghostbusters, Jurassic Park, all the old school shit. I just broke him already.
Wow.
So we have a picture with all these franchises in there, and when we draw a franchise, we see the first movie, and then we put it back in the picture, so that if we draw it again, we watch the second movie, and that's how it keeps going. The first episode was a movie franchise that Scott has never seen before, and that was Fast and the Furious. He's never seen any of them.
Okay.
So far, Fast and the Furious was new to him. Harry Potter was new to me. Mission Impossible we just released was new to him. Friday the 13th was new to me. That was a disappointment. Our newest episode that we're going to be recording in the next week or so is going to be Conan the Barbarian, which I've never seen.
Okay.
So after that's Conan the Destroyer, and then after that is Conan the Barbarian with Jason Momoa. And that came out a couple years ago.
Conan 5150.
Yeah. Yeah. Because eventually, if we go Friday the 13th, I'm watching Jason X. You know?
Freddy with Jason.
Yeah, but so far, other than Friday the 13th, Scott wants to watch the rest of the Fast and the Furious movies, so he might pull that out because he'll watch it on his own. I'm kind of curious in the Harry Potter stuff after the first one, so I might be watching that on my own. So movies get taken out, movies get put in. The Pauly Shore 4-pack is actually in there also. So that's Encino Man, Son-in-Law, Biodome, in the Army now.
Oh, Lord.
Rambo's in there. I've never seen Rambo.
You got any,
Rocky's in there. I've never seen Rocky. And Rambo will include the newest one, Last Blood.
That's
That's also in the list. Like,
that's
we're
the
including
one
the
that
newer ones too.
I haven't seen yet.
Rambo?
Yeah, the last one.
Last Blood, yeah.
So
So,
are the masks in there?
no.
Jim Carrey's the mask?
There's only one.
There's two.
What about the Friday?
Oh, the one with Jamie Kennedy? We don't count that.
Okay.
What about the Friday movies?
They're in there. I've seen bits and pieces of number one. I might have watched the whole thing, but I don't remember. So if I can't remember it, that counts. And I've never seen the other two.
I don't remember that count.
Yeah. That picture is like 24 franchises deep. He's never seen any of the Disney Cars movies.
Okay.
None of them.
Yeah.
There's a couple of more that he's never seen that are in there. I think the Evangelion series is in there. The new ones that have been coming out. So there's a lot of weird shit in there.
Okay.
So
Yeah. Of the Gremlins movies in there.
yeah. Okay. I've never seen Gremlins. There's a lot of stuff. I grew up in this.
Tremors! Is Tremors in there?
I wouldn't put that in.
Put Tremors in there.
Yeah.
There's like
Tremors is a
5, right?
franchise.
There's 5 Tremor
Yeah.
movies. Police Academy. There's like 7 of those.
That's in
That's in there? Okay.
Hot Tub Time Machine was in there.
Oh God. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I like this project. This sounds fun.
That's actually very interesting.
And now that concept has bled over to where hopefully by the end of the year we're gonna also we're gonna be doing my Virgin Ears. So
that's the one that
Rolling-
I did a
Rolling-
Metallica one, right? Or something.
The first episode we ever did was an unboxing of Metallica's S&M album. We both bought the deluxe version, so the vinyl.
I just
the
listened
poster,
to the second one.
all that, and then we gave our top 10 Metallica songs ever. On Spotify, you can actually find both our playlists. Scott's and mine of our essential Metallica songs. But our Virgin Ears, we basically a couple of weeks ago, Rolling Stone updated their top 500 albums. So we're going to be going album by album.
Oh shit.
Top bottom or bottom top?
Top bottom. Yeah. Yeah. So we're going to start. We're
Nice.
going to be churning shit
Talk
out
about
for years to
projects.
come.
Man,
Yeah.
damn.
Yeah.
Man, we gotta forget about us.
Oh shit! And then we still have to do our end of the year for pop culture. I've even through pandemic, I've seen 25 movies.
Wow.
New movies that are released this year.
Cool.
Yeah. And the pandemic now, movies is so much fun because the first showing is at 1:00. It's already been disinfected. There's only 5 people in there, and I'm paying $5.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm in and out before I catch anything.
I still need to catch the Charlotte Bufflin, the collector. Okay.
Oh, wait, he's playing the Mexican gangster guy. I want to watch that. Yeah, there's a lot of shit going on right now. So yeah, that's my weekend.
Sounds cool.
Yeah.
You got any plans for this weekend, Hector?
I got Texans Packers game.
Oh, yeah, you're going to it, right?
Yeah.
The wife is a Packer fan. I'm a Texan fan.
Oh,
So
yeah. And she's a Dodgers fan.
I know. That's why I turned around to make sure she wasn't here because Dodgers are losing.
Thinks you heard you.
So 2017, when Harvey struck, Tampa Bay let us use their facilities because the Rangers wouldn't put up with, for whatever reason, whatever inconvenience it would be. So I'm going to say Tampa. That too. And they have a stadium that's shaped like a fucking grill. So I'm voting for Tampa Bay. But if the Dodgers win, I'm cool with that too. It's okay. Kershaw, you know.
Finally.
The higher the stage, the harder the choke. But as long as the team wins the 4 games, then
Charlie Moore. I'm going for Friday game. I'm going for Charlie.
We will be back, possibly here. I'm not sure if we'll be back.
You know, Rosarina, why does he always got like I'm mad face? That's the thing with him. Like he has resting bitch face, but it looks like it's not resting. Like he's just trying to mean mug.
That's what he is.
Like goddamn, Rosarina, you're winning. You're winning. Smile.
It's not over.
Yeah.
He'll crack a smile. He'll crack a smile.
Yeah.
Once they win.
No, his smile will be like.
It's funny
That's
because
his smile.
It's funny because my wife, we were watching when the Astros were playing when Granky pitched.
Yeah.
She's like, Granky has a weird face, but he's like funny weird. Like, oh my god. But like, you don't understand. Granky's like one of those guys that he's kind of like fun to hang around with. Yeah. I showed her a clip about when they're cleaning the mound and Granky just does the Indian style, just looking at them like, oh, so that's how you do it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he does a bunch of goofy shit.
I love Granky.
All right. Well, is that a show, guys?
Texans are losing again, right?
Right.
Like it's 2020. You know, fucking yeah.
What's gonna be the next time?
In 2 weeks, we will be previewing 2 shows. AEW Full Gear, New Japan's Power Struggle. The card for Power Struggle is legit, y'all. Hype. Plus, we'll be talking all the bleed over from this episode that we talked about.
Are we coming to the good side of town, or are we going back to
Milanesa?
fucking placing your order, man? This guy.
Hey,
you called me out. I fulfilled the wish.
Yes.
You
He's asking for Milanesa. You know how hard it is to cook Milanesa?
panko or crackers,
Oh,
broken eggs. You get the meat, you dip it in the eggs, and then you dip it in the panko crust, and then you put it in the oil. It's not that hard, bro.
Do you know what you skipped?
Beating the meat?
Yes, the most important part.
You would know about beating the meat.
That's the difference.
That's what it sounds like, Hector. This is exactly what it sounds like.
The difference of chicken fried steak and Milanesa. God damn. This dude, man, it's like, oh yeah, I know, just beating the meat. Have you ever tried to beat
look, don't worry
something
about
into Milanesa? It's hard fucking work, dude.
Don't worry about him struggling because you're going to be helping him beat the meat because that's the only thing he's good at.
Oh!
Shine off, man. Get the fuck out of here.
Adios, my friends. Keep it classy.
Keep it classy.
Keep it classy.
Keep beating it. Damn it, you're your third leg.
Oh, man.